there, it's Melinda. I am here with Ashley Skeel. She is in Sun City, Arizona. I have known her since she was born. She has 5 kids from ages 14 months to 13. Ashley works full-time as an insurance adjuster, and she is homeschooling during this coronavirus. So Ashley, I wanted to talk to you today about how you're handling it, any advice for people. Give me all the good stuff. First of all, I want to know, have you put together a schedule for time for each kid? How is that working for you?
So each school has, or each child's teacher has put together a list for them. The oldest is 13, so she's able to kind of do things at her own pace, at her own schedule, get it done, and then she's pretty much free for the rest of the day. The other two, or the littlest two, don't have anything because they're too little, but for Millie, who's 4, we do just learning apps on the iPad. The other two, it's kind of just take it as we can throughout the day. Some days we're behind, some days we're ahead, which is kind of fitting it in as needed. Thankfully, the first grader, it's all completely optional. No grading, nothing even gets turned in. She basically just wants them to play and to read. The third grader, it's kind of a mix of the two. The 7th grader is the only one that actually has to do her stuff.
You find it better to do everything in the morning, get it all knocked out, or in the afternoon, or like you said, you just kind of just play it by ear?
We get most of it done in the afternoon. I'm thankfully work 7 till 3:30. So after 3:30, we're all hands on deck getting everything done as far as dinner and finishing up assignments that haven't been done. The oldest gets hers done in the morning because that's when most of her stuff is, her teachers are online, her friends are online. But the other two, it's mostly in the afternoon.
In the afternoon, okay. The school system, you said that they are giving the curriculum to you, but the younger kids, it's just kind of play it by ear. They just want them to learn. Are you concerned about that at all?
They do give out a lot of really good plans. Usually about Sunday afternoon, they send us a list for the week. The oldest has pretty much, it's the same as a regular school day. Every subject has something going on. They've got school projects. Some of them take a week for them to complete. So it's very typical for what they would usually see, which is great because she's in all advanced classes. So keeping up with that to where when she goes to 8th grade, she'll still be in advanced classes is perfect, because the busier they are, the less they get in trouble. With my 3rd grader, it's a little tough because she needs more of the teacher interaction that I don't understand and can't give to her. So I have a feeling that 4th grade next year is going to be extremely tough, to where we are even considering repeating 3rd grade. But the 1st grader, her stuff's still really easy to where 10-15 minutes of math, she figures out the lesson. She's just way too smart for her own good. But I have a feeling that next year still they're going to have to review a lot since none of hers actually gets turned in, to where nothing's getting graded. So I'm assuming we're doing things right, but then some things I don't know how to teach Common Core. So a lot of stuff I have a feeling the teachers are going to hear, well, that's not how my mom taught me next year because I can only teach how I know it.
Right, and that's what I am finding a lot of parents are saying is that they have to find out what is good for their kids on how they learn and then have to adapt that way. So you're having to teach each kid a different way because that's how they're learning, right?
Right. And yeah, some of the online for like my 3rd grader, a lot of the online stuff, it's just too hard or it's too fast paced. So a lot of it's just slowing down. Like we broke out shaving cream the other day to work on multiplication facts, drawing on the table and shaving cream because I had to make it fun. So that way there were no frustration and no tears at the end because we've got 3 or 4 kids on iPads and laptops, plus my work computer hooked up to where I'm answering emails through the day. Our internet is so angry. So a lot of it is trying to figure out how to put the internet stuff onto paper or into an activity to make it fun because I don't want to sit here and teach kids that are crying because they don't understand it, and then trying to at least just make it somewhat enjoyable for everybody.
Shaving cream, that's an awesome idea. We're going to take that tip.
We're good with spelling words too. The 1st grader liked it with spelling words and then the baby was just playing with it. So sensory, spelling words, math, and it made my table nice and shiny too.
That's awesome. So do you find that having everybody at one spot designated in the house is working for you?
Yeah, we all train. It's usually around the kitchen table. Thankfully, ours is pretty decent size to where everyone's kind of stationed up here. especially when they're on their laptops and using the internet, because we really strictly monitor what they're using on the internet. Even for the oldest down to the youngest, it's if they're on an app, they're on a computer, they're usually within arm's distance of us, so we know exactly what they're using to make sure that they're staying safe on the internet too. So everything is usually around the kitchen table.
One thing that I want to know is, after all of this is over, would you consider still homeschooling the kids, or are you just ready for them to go back?
Their teachers can have their kids back. We were joking the other day. We're like, so now that it's like staying home, we get to take the kids to the teachers' houses, right? I love my kids to death. I really like being home with them more, but they're tired of each other. They're tired of being home. They love their school, their friends, their routines, getting out of the house. So I think school is definitely, we'll stick to going to school.
Are you doing any safe field trip type things to get them kind of out of the house safely and, and still protected?
We've done bike rides, walking around the block. The baby likes to go for walks in the wagon just to kind of change up the scenery a little bit. The only hard thing is when we're out, we kind of see their friends and they want to go up and hug their friends and say hi. And so that gets a little hard because we're like, no, like you can say hi from a distance, but you got to stay 6 feet apart. So it's tough to go outside, but then it's also kind of nice because fresh air always kind of boosts moods a little bit. We've been playing a lot in our backyard, thankfully, with the garden and the turtles and all the stuff back there. There's tons for them to do, but they have a lot of virtual field trips on the internet for like the zoos and aquariums, but we can only do so much computer stuff too before they're tired of it.
Exactly. Do you have any tips for moms on staying organized throughout the day?
A lot of it's just getting it done when you can. I try to get up an hour and a half early before I know any of my kids are going to wake up, to where I can, clean up dishes if I need to, get breakfast started, get some of my work done to where I'm more able to focus on them. But a lot of it's just cutting yourself some slack and taking it a day at a time. I haven't done laundry in a week, but I've cooked meals every night for the past 4. So there's a balance there too. Some nights or some days even are just going to be better than others. You're going to get more stuff done. I really like the Fly Lady. There's an app, and I believe it's a whole website, but there's a lot of good cleaning tips on there, and checklists. But utilizing your kids too. If you raise really good, capable little human beings, they're really good at cleaning their own messes up and chipping in to where things seem a little bit less chaotic. But a lot of it's just taking it one day at a time and getting what you can done. And if it has to wait till the next day, leave it be.
There you go. That's perfect. So just kind of just chill, what you're saying.
Yep. You're going to be home, so just do what you can. And if you can't, there's always tomorrow.
That's awesome advice. Now, what about meal plans? I know you are huge at doing meal plans. You used to do them on Sundays for the whole week. Are you still able to do that? And does that really help?
It's a little different now, just since we can't get typical groceries that we are used to getting. I really like grocery shopping. I'll go 2 to 3 times a week if I have to. I haven't even been to a grocery store in 2 weeks. I send Daniel if we need extra stuff, but we stock up usually because feeding 7 people, it takes a lot of food. So thankfully we went to Costco before all this happened and loaded up on stuff that we would use within like 2 or 3 months. I still meal plan for the most part. Last night was kind of like on the whim dinner because one kid wanted something that I didn't plan, and we happened to have everything, which was nice. But usually right now I'm planning about 3 days ahead, seeing what's in the fridge that needs to get used. What do we have a lot of that we can still get quite a bit of if we were to go to the store to replace it. And then making sure to set meat out so it's defrosted, because there's no worse thing than going to make dinner and all your meat's frozen and you're eating mac and cheese for dinner.
And screaming
even if
because you're hungry.
Keeping it. Yeah, I say it's good, but typically we still do a meat, a carb, a veggie, and a fruit for dinner every night. But I try to plan about 3 days ahead versus my week ahead.
So you've adjusted just a little bit. Just
a little bit, yeah. I mean, the more we plan, the better we eat. And of course, because groceries are so hard to get, especially fresh produce for us right now, going through what's going to go bad first, and then prioritizing around that. Thankfully, we've got our garden too, so we've been eating a lot of stuff out of there, which helps, especially since all of we have got about 13 tomato plants that are about to be fully ripe here soon. So we'll be eating a lot of tomato sauce-based stuff.
There you go. That's perfect. Are you doing anything special because you do have so many kids, and like you said, the stores are limited on what they have for paper products, to keep them still safe, healthy, washing their hands. Like for me, it's just Rob and I and Kaylee's home right now, but in the kitchen, I did 3 different color towels. So when you come in, you wash your hand, you have your own towel. So then that way we're saving on the rolls of paper. Are you doing anything to kind of help that?
We do usually use a lot, very little paper products. Paper plates are only for like special occasions if we've got company coming over. So everyone has their own cup that's throughout the day, and it's like you're the only one that drinks out of that cup. You're the only one that touches that cup. Washing hands often. I don't know how many times during the day I say, hey, go wash your hands if I see a kid coming out of the bathroom or, touching their face or playing outside. We clean with microfiber towels and usually diluted bleach with vinegar. Right now I have lemon peel soaking in vinegar to help clean with, because Clorox wipes are tough to get. But a lot of it's just being mindful about putting stuff near your face, putting your hands near your face, try not to like kiss on the baby. Thankfully, we've all gotten a lot less sick of just random cold since I've actually pulled the 2 little ones out of daycare. Theirs is still open, but I decided might as well just join the chaos and keep them home to keep them safer as well. Daniel's really the only one that leaves the house, and he's really good about coming home, washing his hands, he'll go up and take a shower, put his laundry right in the washing machine to minimize his exposure. And his work even has him working from home a lot too. So usually we just kind of stay in our own bubble and just watch what we use and make sure we keep up on our resources.
And just wait for this to write itself out.
Yep, we're just waiting for that day to say, everyone go outside and go hug your friend. Because my kids are all huggers. They just want to go hug people.
Exactly. Well, Ashley, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you are super busy. Is there anything else you wanted to give some advice or tell people?
A lot of it's just give yourself grace. Take one day at a time. Some days are going to be better. Some days you're going to want to rip your hair out. Like this morning, I have a teething baby who's just driving herself crazy. And I had to tell my boss, like, hey, like work's just not happening. So it's just some days are going to be good. Some days you're going to get so much done. You're going to be like, I've got this. Let's homeschool the kids full time. And then some days you're going to lock yourself in a closet eating Reese's peanut butter cups. So just take it just one day at a time. And eventually this will all be over.
Perfect. Well, Ashley, thanks again, and have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye.